Okay, so again, congratulations to the 40 who achieved Crystal Manager. And Kristen, I see you. Can you tell me, do I keep freezing up?
I mean, kind of, but we can still hear you.
You can still hear me?
We just get like funny faces that make us laugh, so it's all good.
Okay, I'm just going to go with it then because the call is recording. So for the 20th time, congratulations to everyone who hit Crystal Manager. That is amazing, and you all deserve to really celebrate those successes. And I promise this is going to be a super positive call, but I just want you guys to know, I want to for 1 second speak to those on the call tonight who didn't hit Crystal Manager. You guys, first time in all of the resets, personally hit Crystal Manager. And I'm sharing this with you guys because I hope that you know, because I was myself or to make that incredible for what you did last week. I would do to build a little bit, fine tune what you can working on. When I really assessed, okay, Jamie Lynn, what are you going to do? I got this. So the first one was rewriting my list of 100. If you don't have a really either or really worked through that step for what you're going to do. So I'm still writing at going to consist of people. This is how it is for me. This list is a list, right? I've sent them maybe look through or sent them an email. Maybe they came to me. Maybe we've been going back and forth, but they haven't necessarily gone on with that. So this is a list of people who have. Do you guys all think that you could sit down and put pen to paper a list of at least 100 people who you've talked to about isogenics? If you've been in this for over a year, you absolutely can, right? If not, you're just going to put more names on that list. That list could also be people who are still on your chicken list. Maybe you're brand new. Maybe you started this a month ago, and that's amazing. But there are people on that list who you're going to write your old bosses. You're going to write your old neighbors, people who you used to go to school with. Every single person. You need to have that list so that you can go to it every single day and follow up and do those connections every single day. Does that make sense? Okay, so your list of 100, whether it's rewriting it or just fine-tuning, adding to it, is priority number 1. The next thing is planning and I didn't realize that this week Isogenics was highlighting, ISO socials, but planning either a tasting party at your home or maybe planning a virtual party on Facebook with some of your teammates. If you don't want to have a sip and sample or a tasting party at your home, reach out to somebody else who you know who's building a business. Maybe they live local to you, or maybe do it with a couple other people. I'm having one at my house on Wednesday night, and I have a few other of my teammates who are actually inviting as well, and it's going to be amazing. And this is what we're calling it, protein and Prosecco. And I think Jen Smith may be the one who coined it. I definitely did not coin that little phrase. But I will tell you what, you guys, I have received more interaction over this protein and Prosecco than the sip and samples that I've done in the past. So just by switching up the name a little bit has really piqued curiosity. And I'm twisting it as a fun girls' night, and people are going to come out and have a glass of bubbly and try some products. We'll make some protein balls. We'll have some Whey-Thin, some Ice Delights. But make it a point to plan one within the next 4 weeks. So yours doesn't have to be this week, but you absolutely have to plan either a tasting party at your home or a virtual party online. Can we all get it behind that? Yes. Okay. The third thing that you want to do, and this is something that I really require because I like to know what it is that I'm doing on a daily basis, is find a way to track your income producing activities. So many of you may only have 2 hours a night to work this business, right? Maybe you work full time. By the time you get your kids to bed, you only have 2 hours a night to do this. So when you sit at your desk, what do? Do you find yourself like searching isohealth.net? Are you getting lost? And I know that I was when I first started this as well. So our team has done many renditions of what we call the matrix. There's people out there who have spreadsheets on the power hour. Whatever it is that works for you, I think you need to have some way to track what it is that you're doing. If I'm being 100% real with you guys, when I sat back here and went through my notebook over the last 3 or 4 weeks, I looked at where I was weak And you want to know where it was? It was in those new connections. It was having new conversations with people. And that's where I was weak. And therefore my enrollments weren't as strong. I wasn't there to be able to pop new consultants so quickly. So I know what I need to work on for the next 4 weeks to make Crystal Director happen. So what I want to share with you guys are how many do we have here? The 6 things that I focus on a daily basis. If you guys were on the call earlier tonight with Jared Maples and he was talking about that calendar, did you guys see that? He had the calendar and he crossed off, he had all these X's on the day. So let's say I'm working on something like that with my children. It's like a chore chart. It is torture because they just want to hit all the X's. I'm like, but you didn't achieve that. Like you can't X it off if you didn't do it, right? But that's the thought process behind tracking what it is that you're doing. Figuring out something that you'll say, listen, I can't go to bed until I send out 3 new messages, or I can't go to bed until I follow up with 5 people. So you have to hold yourself accountable to what you think you need in your business at this present point. But on a daily basis, I hold myself to these 6 things. And the first one is prospecting. So prospecting looks like lead generations, right? Sending out messages to people who you're connected with on social media. Our very own Jessica Rigner did an incredible training on this in Celebration last year. And, there's a way for you to reach out to the people who you're connected with on social media. My expectation for myself is 20 people a day. So that's one way to create a lead, right? It's somebody who you are starting a conversation with. It's also reaching out to the people who are on your list of 100. So the first income producing activity always is prospecting, right? So it's actually seeing if someone is interested in learning more about what it is that you have going on. The second thing that I'm held accountable to every day is new conversations. And those new conversations are real conversations, right? It's not just like, oh, I just said, hey, do you want to learn more about Isogenics? And I count that as one. It is, I'm on a 3-way call with somebody on my team. I'm actually talking to somebody new who's interested in learning about Isogenics. Maybe I've sent them some information via an email. We use a goals email. We use our Google Drive link that many of you have learned about. So it's actually really putting the information in front of somebody and having that dialogue back and forth. Just on the corporate call an hour ago, they talked about having at least 3 a day. So having those 3 new conversations or 3 new connections a day is what will continue to keep that pipeline build. The third thing is follow-ups, because once you've generated those leads, and if you're sending out like 20 new messages a day to people who are on your list, whether it's your Facebook list or your list of 100, you're going to get some interaction with people. And then you're going to send them the information. And then what comes next? The follow-up, right? You need to follow up with those people after that, whether it's a few days or a week later or however long it's going to be. But I'm following up with people I talked to a year ago. I don't stop following up with people unless they like block me or something. I am continually following up. They stay on my list until they enroll, period, right? So the follow-ups, my expectation is 5 a day follow-ups for me personally. The fourth thing that I'm doing and making sure that I'm staying active is team building. And that's digging into the reports, reaching out to my new customers and figure out how they're doing, helping them with their auto ships. It's the fun things. Some things we talked about a few weeks ago was, and Jessica shared about how to screenshot, how many people are in this person's downline and get excited. Tell them if they found 2 people that they could actually earn a few $100s. So those are team building activities, things that will grow your business, things that will add BV to your volume, and also help your teammates as well. So the team building, what we're doing right now, counts as a team building activity, right? So I usually make sure that I'm doing at least 3 or 4 of those a day. The next one is fun. I call it love and kindness. So it's things like sending birthday messages out to people every single day. I voice memo people as I'm driving to the gym. It's buying somebody coffee at Starbucks without them realizing it. It could be sending a little voice memo to somebody who's in a tough time right now and struggling with whatever it might be. It's just doing something that makes you feel really good, because at the end of the day, that's what fuels your fire. It's like making other people feel really good. And that is what is most important. If you serve on a board of a nonprofit, if you volunteer, like those are all the little things that like that's important to keep track of. And then finally, the next one, I just recently added this, is I call it like social media really. And it's interacting in some of the groups that I'm in, whether they be isogenics or outside of isogenics, right? I'm in a gymnastics moms group. I'm in a twin moms group. I'm in fashion groups. I'm in all these other groups. And every once in a while, I'll go in there and connect with people, not about isogenics, of course, but asking questions maybe, or, adding value or interacting with other people. So those are the things that I keep track of daily. And I really love the calendar that Jared put up today. So I might actually add that and just check it off every single day. Because here's the thing. I remember Lynn Hagedorn, saying once from stage years ago, like, how many people did you talk to about isogenics today? And it's a box, and you can only put a number in the box. You can't put the excuses. You can't put the reasons why. You can't put the no's. It's just how many new people did I connect with today? And at the end of the day, you are in charge of your business. Like, you are your own boss. I am my own boss. So if I'm not doing it, guess what? I'm the only person to blame. So let's go ahead and recap really quickly here. I haven't been looking to see if there's any questions. I'll take a look. But just to recap, the very first thing we're going to be doing, and you guys, I'm asking that you do this between now and next Monday night. All three of these things can absolutely be accomplished. Number one is to rewrite the list of 100 people that you have. So just have a really solid list to work with. The second thing is plan a protein and Prosecco or a virtual party. And I encourage you to do that within the next, plan it this week so that you can start inviting people to it. But do it within the next 3 weeks, because Crystal Director deadline will be here before we know it, right? And then the third thing is tracking your income producing activities and figuring out what works for you, whether it's some sort of spreadsheet. I use a paper notebook, and I have 5 or 6 of these that I've been using for the last year or two. So I actually from time to time will go through them and figure out, okay, who do I need? Who haven't I talked to in a while? It's exciting. It's like, oh my gosh, that's right. I talked to Kristen 3.5 months ago, and she hasn't enrolled yet. Like, let's follow back up with her. So I want to leave you guys with one more thing. And this can be extra credit. But if you are in a place where you're feeling like frustrated, or you just like need a new idea, phone a friend. I used that phone a friend ticket a few times last week, and it truly helped with my mindset, and it absolutely put me in the right place. I always circle back to gratitude and how incredibly grateful I am for this opportunity, and to just be able to bless people every single day with this gift that we have. And we have to always keep that on our hearts. But phone a friend if you feel like you're kind of frustrated and you don't know what to do, whether it's your enrolling sponsor, whether it's somebody who's cross-line, whether it's somebody you see here in this Hollywood Squares. Just do it, because everyone wants to make sure that you have success, and it is absolutely worth it to keep pushing forward. So with that being said, let's see. If you have any questions, unmute yourself and let's hear it. I'm going to look and see if there's any questions. Are we good? It looks like Lauren documented everything, which is amazing. I love it. I don't know how you do that so quickly. All right, so anybody else? Lauren, Jess, Kristen, Renee, anybody have anything else to add to this call tonight? Anybody, actually, in general? Anything that you want to add or questions you want to ask?
I'm just going to throw out there that the social media campaign was phenomenal, and I want to thank everybody who boosted it and participated. I hope that everyone equally had fun with it. I love that there were 4 options. I love that we got the email. There was a lot of, good intel in there. So I just want to just say, lift everybody up who did the social media. It's good stuff.
That social media blitz was amazing. It truly was so much fun, and I loved to get to know so many of you guys. And I think it was really, really cool just to see so many people interacting. And this morning I went to say post it. I was like, oh, we're done, But I would actually really encourage you guys to save all of that information that Renee put in there. I mean, it's very, very valuable in those emails that we received every day. And we can go back and look at that. So if you're ever feeling stuck on what to put out there, you have that there. Okay, so I see a question here. I have the ATM, a lot of people, and only about 5 accepted. Any thoughts on how to gently nudge folks to check it out? So, Rachel, I would say I would follow back up with the individual person who you are talking about. If they, seemed interested and then all of a sudden they ghost you, I mean, it definitely happens to everybody. But circle back with them maybe privately and say, hey, listen, Paula, you seemed really interested when we talked a few weeks ago about isogenics. If something has changed, I totally understand. Let me know so that I can take you up on my list. And I will tell you that most people will come back and be like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry I forgot to get back to you. It's not you. My kid was sick and da-da-da-da-da. Some people might say, it's not for me. And then that's always an opportunity to really ask some additional questions, because especially if they really haven't seen any information yet, they probably just got scared quickly. But continue to follow up with them. And I think just loving on them and always making sure that they know that you're there when the timing is right, they will come back to you. And I also saw the question of what would you say if you follow up from months ago? So I've just been really going through and looking at who I talked to months ago, and maybe they didn't really see information and years ago too, to be honest, and just saying, hey, Kelly, I was looking through our text message thread and I realized we talked about isogenics in the end of 2017, but nothing ever came of it. Are you still interested in a health solution, for X, Y, and Z? If so, I would love to reconnect with you and find out, ask you a few more questions to see if we could help you out over here. Just reinvigorate the conversation. Sometimes they are thinking about it and they just don't want to be the one to really circle back with you. So don't be fearful of reaching out to people who it's been months. Actually, I feel like sometimes they're the easier ones to follow up with than the ones who just took a look last week, because they have been thinking about it. They've been stewing on it. Maybe they said, oh, I'm going to try something different, right? They went and tried keto and that was a huge fail and it wasn't working for them. And now they're sitting here feeling like, what do I do? So at this point, maybe they're going to be excited to hear back from you. So don't ever stop following up. Like Kristen says, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, keep it going. Just keep following up. Any other questions? Okay, question. Did anybody make 15 new contacts out in the public, belly to belly, last week? Lauren put out that challenge. I see Katie says she did. Amazing, Katie. Congratulations. Lisa. Wow. Melissa. Okay, so Lauren, the answer to that question is yes. That's fantastic. Lauren, you want to unmute yourself?
I was just typing. I was just saying that, I was going to have them message you guys, anyone who did it, and then you guys send me those names so I can do the drawing.
Awesome.
Awesome. That's exciting. That's super fun.
It is really, really cool to see that. All right, so you guys, I know you're posting in here, but if you can just go ahead and privately message your whoever it is, Lauren or Jess or Renee or whatever, just let them know if you connected outside 15 or more people, and she'll add you to the drawing. Anybody else? All right, you guys, well, this was so much fun. Please come back next Monday, and if you did those 3 things, you rewrote out your list of 100, you planned a virtual party or a protein and Prosecco at your home, and you figured out a way to track your income producing activities, we will be celebrating you because you're going to be well on your way to Crystal Director. And for those of you who are coming to our Super Saturday this weekend in King of Prussia, it is going to be amazing. The lineup keeps getting better and better. We are just so fired up. There's going to be a Super Saturday in Denver on the 23rd. So you guys get to these local events. They are absolutely pivotal for the growth of your business over the next 11 months of the year. So thank you guys for being here. We will get the recording out to you guys within the next 12 hours or so. Have a great night, everyone.